Hello there, my name is Maria and welcome to the Creative Italian YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make this necklace where you're using chain links and beads to create one continuous unique looking necklace. But before I get started, if you will hit the subscribe button, that way you'll get notification as to when I upload a new video to my channel. If you have any comments or questions, or if there's something you'd like to learn, you don't see it in any of my videos here, just go ahead and leave it in the comments and I will respond to everybody. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you how to make these beads and links connect. I'm going to be showing a continuous necklace. I will not be adding the pendant, as to this is for a separate video because there's more to this pendant than meets the eye. And also this tassel down here, the same technique I show you up here is what you would use to create this tassel. So here are the tools that you're going to want to have. First of all, you'll want some beads, and I'm using 10-12 millimeter turquoise beads. You'll want some chain link. And the chain link that I'm using actually has an opening in each piece, so I can open it and close it just like a regular jump ring. So you want to be on the lookout. You want to check that out before you buy your link, because not all links are made that way. Some of them are completely soldered together and you can't open them up. You will want a lobster claw clasp and a jump ring, and I'm using a 6 millimeter jump ring, and I think this is probably about a 10 or 12 millimeter lobster clasp. And I'm using 22 gauge bronze colored wire because the chain link is aged brass. And this is by Bead Smith. You will want a measuring tape, bent nose plier, round nose plier, a pair of wire cutters, needle point pliers, flat nose plier. And this is optional, but this is a tool that you can actually go in and straighten out your wire as you're unrolling it from the spool. And when you're doing pre-cutting, this makes it really so much easier and faster because you have a much straighter piece to work with while you're cutting. Okay, now the first thing that we're going to do is first go ahead and cut your wire. You want to cut your wire to each piece to 4 inches. Now I've already pre-cut my wire here. However, I'm just going to show you with this tool to smooth out the wire how this works. See, it's got that, it's really pretty tight. Well, if you take this tool and just slide down the wire, it makes it less tight and it makes it a whole lot easier to go ahead and, cut your pieces for your beads. This is how I like to do it. I like to pre-cut, and I always pre-cut a little extra pieces also. So if I make a mistake or I don't like the way it looks, I don't have to go back and cut more. I've already got them cut. Okay. So the other thing you'll want to do is, if you have 10 beads, you'll need 10 pieces of pre-cut 4-inch wire. Also, if you have 10 beads, you're going to need 10 chain links to go in between the beads plus 5 extras. So I've already got some of those already opened up here. I've already opened up quite a few, as a matter of fact. However, I'm going to show you here how I do that. Now this is kind of this is kind of hard. It's pretty hard chain link, so it's a little bit harder to open up, but you know what, I don't mind that, because once I open it and close it, I know it's going to hold the bead and it's going to be real sturdy. So I tend to like chain link that's soft. I'd rather have it a little bit on the harder side. So what we're going to do is you'll want to pick up your bent nose plier and find your opening. Your bent nose on one hand, I have it in my right hand because I'm right-handed, and then your flat nose in the other hand. And when you open it, you just want a small opening. You do not need a very big opening at all because the wire is so thin. So you're going to go in opposite directions, just like that, very slightly. That's all you do. And then, of course, I'll show you how the correct way to close that. Okay, so got our wire cut. We've got our chain links already opened up, ready to go. So what you want to do is you go 2 inches. Let me get this out of the way. It's 4-inch wire. Go 2 inches down the wire, about like that. Okay, so your round nose plier is flat at this point in your hand. So, and you want to take this wire that's up between the noses and go the opposite direction. Just bend it all the way over. Just bend it all the way over, just like that. Now take your pliers and turn them in the opposite direction. Then take that same wire and come back over the top towards you all the way down. Now take the pliers and turn them flat again like you started with. And this wire that you just turned towards you, take it and bend it underneath the nose in the opposite direction. So it looks like, that. I hope y'all can see that. So it looks like that. Okay. So when I pull the pliers out, it basically, like this one lady I learned from, she says it looks like a person's head with a scarf hanging over, with a scarf flying off of it. And that's exactly what it looks like. Okay, so now take your flat nose pliers and take your wire and start wrapping it around the other wire, and you can wrap it like 3 times, will be plenty. Take your wire cutters and go and snip that as close as you can, but you want to make sure that your wire cutters are flush and flat, because if they're not, it's going to leave a sharp piece when you cut it. Okay. And then take your needle point pliers and that little piece that you just snipped, all you want to do is just take it and just bend it down. Just smash it down into the, just so it's flatter on there and there's no little sharp pieces. Okay, so now this is what you have. And you're going to add a bead, like that. And now you're going to take your round nose plier and put it in flat, just like you did when you started off the first time. You go in flat, just like that. And you want it right on, you basically want it, you know, so it's touching the bead. Now, you're going to do exactly what you did before. You're going to take the wire and work it, bend it down away from you. Turn the pliers in the opposite direction. Take that same wire and bend it over the top of the nose. Then take your pliers and turn them flat again. And then the wire that you just turned towards you, take it and bend it back underneath this nose right here. So when you pull it out, you got a lady with a scarf. That's how she described it. A lady with a scarf. That's exactly what we got here. Now you're going to take your flat nose pliers. And all you're going to do is take this wire and just start wrapping it around. And sometimes you might end up wrapping maybe more than 3 times, only because maybe the stem is just a little bit longer. And who knows why? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you know, you want it to be pretty close to the other side. Okay, then again, I'm going to take my wire cutters. I like to take this piece and turn it up a little bit, just so I can get in there and cut and get a nice clean cut. And again, you want to be as flat as you can so you don't leave a sharp edge. And now take your needle point, and just smash that little piece in that you just cut. Okay, so that's your first bead. And there you go. That's your first bead, and that's what it's going to look like. Just like that. Okay. Now, I do want to say this. If you wanted to, and I've seen this in necklaces, and it looks beautiful, in a $500 necklace, as a matter of fact, you can make a longer stem and have more wrap in between on each side of the bead. So in other words, the wrap would be longer on each side, and it looks awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the rest of these. So pliers are in flat, bend the wire away from you. I want to just back up here. I went 2 inches into the wire. I got a 4-inch wire. I went 2 inches in. I got my pliers flat. I bent the wire away from me, turn the pliers, take the wire, bend it towards you over the nose, turn the pliers flat again, take that same wire that you just bent towards you, and then bring it up underneath the nose, so that when you pull it out, you have that. Okay? Just like that. And then take that piece and just wrap it around. I have found if I work closer when I'm wrapping this around, the closer I keep my hand in when I'm wrapping it, as opposed to holding it out here, the better the wrap turns out for me. I know it's different for everybody, but I'm just sharing with you the way I do it and what has worked for me. Okay, so that needs a little bit more cutting right there. And I'm just going to go ahead and flatten that out. A little piece. Nope. Sorry, guys. I didn't get it very good. Still had a... Yeah, the one thing you don't want is something sticking in anybody and catching on their clothes. Okay. So I'm going to hold it right on there, again, on the bead. Like that. Up. Over, opposite direction again, flat, under, pull it out, and then just start wrapping your wire. You know, this is a great technique to do on all kinds of chain, all kinds of beads. I mean, there's a million beads out there. 10 million zillion styles of chain link that you can buy, and you know, basically you can create a ton of different necklaces and different looks. You could even use different size beads if you wanted to, like small ones and medium ones and large ones, all in one necklace. I think that'd be great to do that too. So basically you want the same amount of links plus 5 extra. So now we've already opened up our chain links. as you can see right here. And so all I'm going to do is open it up, and then I'm going to close it like I opened it, except I'm going to go in the opposite direction. I'm going to push and pull, just like that, push and pull. And then it'll close up nice and tight, as you can see. You don't want to see any space between the closure. So when you hold it up, you shouldn't be able to see through where the two pieces come together. So all you're doing is just adding 2 beads per link. Close it back up. So I gotta add another one there. Now, until you get the length that you want. What you want to do on when you get to your last link, you want to take your jump ring at this point, take your jump ring, or you don't even need a jump ring. I think this will just fit onto here. Yeah, it will. You don't have to use a jump ring. You just add your lobster, add one more link to this link. So you're going to have 2 links on one end when you finish it. So you're going to add 2 links like that to the very end, and then take your lobster clasp and pop that on, just like that. And most of the time, those links that you're working with, that works just with almost any size, unless it's super, super big. Okay, so now you got your lobster claw on one side. On this end, I add, to the last one, I add 2 more. So at the end, you'll have 3 links. And the reason I do that is because that way your customer can adjust the length a little bit. They could use the lobster claw on any one of these 3 holes. But as you can see, it just really makes a nice chain link, doesn't it? I mean, so easy and so much fun. Let me just go over one more thing before you go. This tassel right here, the only thing that I did was add, instead of having 1 bead per wire, I added 3 beads per wire. That's all I did. And then connected them just like I connected these. So, you know, that's what you could take this piece, make a tassel like that, and put it on here. So you just have a tassel running off of your strand. So that would look really good too. So anyway, thanks again for coming by. Again, if you want to get notifications on my new videos that I upload, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and put it in the comment section and I'll respond to you. Alrighty then, thank you again. And maybe I'll be back in December. I hope I will. And have a great holiday season. Bye-bye.